Welcome to the Amazon's podcast. I'm Glenn Young, owner of Amazon's fitness magazine, Celebrate the Female Physique. Subscribe to amazonsfitmag.com. The podcast is brought to you by GPS Photography and Video. Why photography and video? Because of a photo's worth 1,000 words, video's worth 1,000,000. GPSphotoandvideo.com. Yeah, just take a moment.
You are
My guest, number 3 in the world, back on the podcast again, second time this year.
Yes.
IFBB 3-time Olympian, Ashley Jones.
How we doing?
How are you?
I am fabulous. It's always good to be here so we can chat it up, maybe drop some tea, because that's just what we do to keep it real. So, yeah.
And we'll make a big announcement at the end.
Absolutely.
They can stick around.
Hey, and they shall.
I mean, it's you. So, Ashley, I wanted to only limit it to like 3 areas because everything is pretty much known, but things really haven't gotten any better when you think about it when it comes to women's bodybuilding.
Right.
Last time we talked, Tampa was gone and then it was back. Yeah, so that was a reason to celebrate. And then the New York Pro comes. Last year when you competed at the New York Pro, there were 6.
Yes.
This year there was only 3 competitors. And so when you look at that, and as I commented on Olympia TV when they did the interview with Chelsea Dion on Friday, you can't have it both ways. You can't have more shows and then only 3 people show up. Yeah. You can't have prize money increase. And then the thing about you have to understand, the prize money increases, then those big dogs are going to come out, such as Natalia Coelho. Yeah. So we go north of $10,000 for prize money for first place in women's bodybuilding. The same thing is going to happen. The big dogs are all going to come out. And to that, I'll open up the flaming question. Top 3 in the world, Andrea Shaw, 4-time Miss Olympia. Angela Yo, number 2 in the world, Rising Phoenix champion.
Yes.
And Ashley Jones, number 3 in the world. What is the number that it would take? Yeah. And I'm talking prize money. Yeah. That would have the top 3 in the world do a show in, say, July.
Like I said before,
as I said, it's the big dogs.
And you're right.
More prize money, you're gonna keep poking the bear.
Absolutely. I would say the only tricky thing, so I'll kind of break it up into 2 parts. The only tricky thing about that question is the timing, because we know whenever we are in prep, our coach, we know we follow, like if you're 20 weeks out, okay, we're going to have a master plan at 16 weeks. This is where we need to be and so forth. It's almost like a mental calendar. Add an earlier show because again, that's why a lot of us were so hyped up about Rising Phoenix. Yes, it was an invitation. That was our big check show, but that was literally 3-4 weeks out from the Olympia. So if we needed to improve, you got enough time, but it's not a whole extra prep to get ready for the bigger stage, which is the Olympia. And I think the only tricky part about adding something as soon as July, because I mean, it's already June right now, but the only trick is, would girls be willing to push up their timeline just because of now an added show? I would be forever grateful for that. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm going to let you know now, my coach is going to be like, hey, we got our goal set on the O. And that's what it's going to be. And I got to respect that. As much as I would want to compete, because obviously the topic of putting women's bodybuilding in Texas Pro, I would love to do that. But does that throw off our timeline? It does a little bit. And I don't want to do anything where that's going to throw off my chance of becoming Miss Olympia this year. So I just got to listen to my coach, which I'm going to do, and focus on what is best for me. But in the second part of that question, I think when you have a show that was obviously like Rising Phoenix, that was not the Olympia, and you got 50, I think it was 20, and then 12.5 for first, second, and third, it's hard to say, like, you got to kind of match that in a sense, because that's kind of what we're used to. We're used to having at least one show given, that much prize money. But if somebody's like, I don't have that, but I will be willing to give you 25 at first place and then maybe 12 for second. I think if we get like a 5-digit number, we will be good. And I think a lot of people are misconstruing the whole Linda situation with her bringing it up and the whole Andrew, whatever the case may be. The point of it all, we as women's bodybuilding, we're not asking for the same amount. We know that that's not happening. I think I listened to an interview where we get 12 cents to their dollar. And I kind of did the math and I was like, ooh, that's facts. That is, so you telling me we only get literally 12 cents to their dollar. You do the math and you see why we're fighting and got the fire that we do. It's not that we're asking to be equal to them in regards to pay. We're just asking more. So if you got them winning half a meal, can we get 50? Can we get 75? Can we get 100?
Right.
That's all we asking for. So I think a lot of people are misconstruing what the message is trying to be pushed forth with, because it's just they hear like, oh, well, this person's going after this part. That's not at all what was happening. Right. She's just trying to prove a point of like, we get the bare minimum and we're trying to do more. But at the end of the day, we need the support of everyone, and athletes included, to help this narrative be pushed that we're just asking for more. We're not asking for equal. We're asking for more. That's the bottom line. So I hope that that message continues to get brought forth, because that's what I'm fighting for. I'm just fighting for more because we deserve more. And I think we are going to see a change happen this year, because I think we're going to take some action doing what we do. I'm going to make sure I'm doing what I do obviously as an ambassador of the sport and the division, but it can't be all on one person's back. It can't be all on two people's back. You got to keep supporting, whether it's buying a live stream, showing up to the show, buying the tickets, whatever it may be. Every little bit counts for us.
And of course, I'm just speaking in hypotheticals. Yeah. But again, everybody, the takeaway is we want more prize money. As you saw in the women's physique division, Natalia Coelho, in Pittsburgh and New York, you're going to look up more prize money. Somebody dropped $25K.
Exactly.
Or matches the Olympia 50K, the big dollars coming out.
Exactly.
And to that point with Olympia, north of, 6 figures, $100,000 for the Olympia. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And before I leave that point, though, what do you think how it would work in a winner take all situation? Meaning all the money goes to first place, nothing for second, nothing for third. Because it's like, hey, first place is first place. And is it Ricky Bobby? Second place, just the first loser.
Honestly, I feel like, especially with us as a sisterhood that we are, I feel like we would at least try to say like, hey, we got to get top 3. We got to give our girls something, because if we're already fighting so much to even just get that extra little bit, I think I can say for all of us, we're going to be like, hey, sis, let's get a little something for first, second, and third.
And again, I'm just playing and throwing hypotheticals, but it's a very serious topic. When you look at what's going on, hopefully next year there will be the same amount of shows, if not more, but it's not too much of a good feeling or good vibe based on what we've seen. So when you figure, okay, if the sanction fee is $10,000, so we come up with $100,000, take it to the IFBB and say want to secure 10 shows for women's bodybuilding, then that sort of takes the pressure off of the promoters, and that they're going to have a return on investment, because that's why they're feeling up in arms like, man, we spent all this money, we did all this promotion, set up all this stage, and then they didn't show up. And then again, on the same token of women's bodybuilders, they got to promote the show that they're doing, not hide out. But at the same time, when you sit back there and you say, well, I hate that this person did the show and they're already Olympia qualified. Let's be clear. You're going against the best in the world. Exactly. And if you can't beat the person in April, how do you expect to beat them in October?
Exactly. And I think, I'm just going to say it, I feel like there's more of the shine around, oh, I got my Olympia qualification, more than it is, I'm about to be on stage with the best in the world at the Olympia. Like that, to get Olympia qualification, that is an amazing feat. Like a lot of people would dream to have that, but don't let that hold the weight of you actually stepping on that stage and shooting for the title, because that's what it is, So yes, this is all about strategy on this level. However, don't be mad at one of my sisters in iron who is, probably already qualified. but she's doing what she needs to do. She's collecting her data to be better in October.
Exactly.
Don't knock her game, okay? She's doing what she needs to do to show up and show out, and that's what we need more of. So, shout out to all the girls. I mean, that's what. Same thing with Natalia. Same thing with Jessica. People are like, can they?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's our job to show up. It's our job
Yep.
to show up and compete, and our paychecks, our bodies are our paychecks. That's what it is. So, it's just you gotta keep going. You gotta keep showing up because we are the faces of the industry and of our division. So the more people see it, the more they're gonna want to come out and show support.
And ironically, the two athletes that you just mentioned, Natalia Coelho and Jessica Reyes-Padilla, and of course you, Coach Andrew Vu.
Come on, Andrew Vu.
Everybody's starting to count like, okay, this guy.
Yep. You know, and don't forget Rachel. Don't forget Rachel too. Okay.
Rachel Daniels, exactly. And the pose down in Pittsburgh of Rachel Daniels and Natalia going at it, I was right there front row.
Wild.
Incredible. Shout out to Sandy Williams. Like, hey, that was definitely one for the fans. I don't know if you were doing it for, do the judges really need to see it, or let me hype this up because, hey, it got everybody hyped up for sure. I enjoyed it.
And that's why I think people, whenever they ask me about like Andrew, they're like, how do you like work? I mean, what more needs to be said? Like, if you look at my Instagram and see that this man literally started me on my journey with women's bodybuilding, because I knew that that's where we were going, but I needed for him to be like, hey, let's go. And then seeing what we did in just our debut, going into months later being third in the world, that's all that needs to be said. So I'm retired with that man. That's what it is. But like putting two teammates up against each other at the caliber that they were of Natalia and Rachel, he didn't show no favoritism. You know what I'm saying? So he made sure both of them showed up at their best and gave us a damn good show. And that's definitely what it was. So, I mean, that means it's literally, I call him Sensei because the voodoo of him is wild. It's wild. Like he just knows. So,
and that's such a challenge because you got two of your own competitors. You want both of them to be at their best, and whoever wins. Because if I'm the coach, I've already won. But I'm taking 1 and 2.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. Yes, it's amazing, and I think to be as dominant as he is across the divisions. I mean, even with Kennedy, that raised a lot of uproar with legions. He brought him in way better than he did. Not saying he didn't look good in New York, but we saw the progression, and that everybody was like, yo, where's Kennedy at top 5 in call outs? So even seeing what he's doing across all the divisions, like that's a coach. That right there is a coach that's letting you know he's not just in it just to sit up here and say, oh, I got faith. No, he may have like, again, he has an Miss Olympia under his belt, but he's coming to 3 titles this year from figure to physique and now women's bodybuilding. Name a coach that's doing that right now. Don't worry, nobody. So
exactly.
I'm all down for my coach. So
I would like to see a Coach of the Year award.
I would love that.
I really would. You know, they would write the criteria, of course, but I'm like, the things that he's doing is legend. Let's just call it what it is.
Exactly. And I know he's gonna hate me talking about it because he's so behind the scenes.
He's so humble.
He is so humble, but he knows I will gladly brag about him. So I'm just definitely giving him his flowers because people don't understand what it takes. Literally, I mean, that man is on it detailed. There was a mistake on my check-ins because I have a little script that I fill out for him. And he calls me out. He was like, Ashley, it's not the right script. I was like, oop, what? I'm sorry. So like every little thing, and I know he has 1,000 athletes, but that never stops him from honing in on you whenever it's time, for your check-in. So if you give him 100, he gonna give you 200, and that's what it is. So
not every coach can manage that.
You're right.
I mean, it's the bottom line.
Yeah,
and it's sort of cool that y'all refer to him as the sensei, and he called y'all ninjas.
Ninjas. He's so silly. I love it. Yes, and we all support each other. We all want each other to do well. It's just, I don't know. He's built a damn good roster. Good roster. So yeah.
Speaks great of him.
Yes.
The Toronto Pro is coming up next.
Yes, it is.
Getting back to promotion, why is it? And every competitor, I get it, is their own reason for saying I'm doing this show or I'm not doing this show, or they don't want to tell it to the last minute.
Yeah.
but they're missing out on a lot of promotion from a fan perspective, because fans want
Yeah.
to see everything
Yeah.
on. We want you to be completely transparent and show us
Absolutely.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
What does women's bodybuilding? I'm going straight into listen mode
Yeah.
because I've talked too much and I want to listen to you as number 3 in the world. What do
Good.
women's bodybuilders need to do as far as promotion,
Mm-hmm.
prize money? What do
Mm-hmm.
they need to do to fix the pending issue? Because you are naive to think
Mm-hmm.
that the backdoor conversations from promoters and everybody else, like, look, I'm not doing this next year. They're not
Right.
showing up. I'm not doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. So I think the main thing is I understand because I did the same thing last year. I waited. I think we did our podcast. I think it was either 6 or 8 weeks out from New York, and I literally you were the first person to know on social
Yeah.
media.
I love
Um,
y'all for doing that too, by the way.
I didn't even know we could do
You,
that. Thank
you and
you.
Mela. Yeah.
I love that. But yes, so we literally did that, and you were the first one to know. So I'm just like, okay, let's roll with it now. So, and literally ever since that podcast, from obviously with that prep, I mean, it just got hype and even more
Mm-hmm.
hype. And I feel like that's what needs to happen. So you can have your strategy of like staying in the your cocoon, I like to call it. But when it's time to like drop little hints and say, hey guys, I got an announcement, a show's coming up, and then just tag the show. You ain't gotta type it out, but people
Right.
look at the tags. That alone is gonna, be even more promo for them. So I think we gotta, yes, be strategic, but we still have to show up. We are living in a social media world right now, and everything is based off of social media. So even I hate it. I'm not gonna lie, but we gotta tend to that, because like you said, that's where the promotions are going to come, the sponsorships, the endorsements, all of that, because they see us. They want to see us being, yes, the athletes that we are, but the human side of how is this person going to push more of my business or push more of my product out
Mm-hmm.
for the world to see. That's just what it is. So we as athletes, we got to show up. That's number one. We have to show up, whether that be I'm speaking to myself, on our page, show up to shows, show up to seminars, wherever you can get your face out and shake hands with somebody, go. That's why I show up to the shows that I show up to, because one, I want people to see in person what it's like to be a women's bodybuilder. I had so many girls come up to me at the show this past weekend and said, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, like, I'm currently figuring out, I really, really love the aspect of posing that you're presenting. Come, we invite you. Like, if you need help, I'm here to help you. So just to have that, that attraction to the more muscular divisions, that made my heart smile. And that lets me know, like, okay, Ashley, just keep pushing that image and keep pushing that message on social media, because it's getting out there. But it takes all of us to do that. So I think, and the second part of that is coming with action. So I love that all these conversations are being had. Just talking about you with Sheena, we're gonna have that conversation on her podcast as well, to say like, hey, what else can be done with all of us? And it's going to have to come with also action. So we can talk and have all these conversations, but what action is then going to be had? Because if we sit in the room with Tyler and Jay and Mannion, we got to say, hey, this is what we want. Here's a check, or here's the action plan. What can be done? So we're going to be taken seriously to be like, oh, they came in ready. Absolutely, we've come in ready. So what now? The ball is in your court. So what's going to be done now? That's how we got to move. Because at the end of the day, this is a business. It's their business. And I have to understand that, to the point of like, they're not going to take us seriously unless we have an action plan, to the point where they're like, okay, cool. They're showing up. They're giving us, the opportunity to hear them out. But this is now what needs to be done so that we can continue to show up, so we can continue to have 10 plus shows every year. And they keep bodybuilding alive for us on that Olympia stage. So it's long story less short, it's going to have to take a team effort, but for our sense of it all, we have to have an action plan and not just talk. We have to have the moves behind what we're saying. So hopefully, I think that will definitely get to be the case this year, but it can't rely on just a couple people. It has to take all of us to do it.
What is your message to the promoters? You're sitting in a room with the promoters, female promoters, every promoter you can think of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they ask you the question,
Mm-hmm.
why you guys not showing up?
Yeah.
What's Ashley Jones's answer?
Yeah. I would just say, honestly, I want you to put yourself in our shoes. If we are in the position of working day in and day out, months and months and months, to only get a 2,000, and I let me preface this because I do not want my words misconstrued. $2,000 is great, okay? It is fantastic. But when you relate that, again, like I said, 12 cents to their dollar, if you relate that to getting a $30,000 check at the same show, put yourself in our shoes. How would you feel about that? So again, I am forever grateful for the blessing that God has given me to make this a career and to help pay my bills. However, when do we say, all right, enough is enough? How can we push forward? I literally just watched, I forgot the name of this show or the movie. It's with Clarissa Shields, and with her being the first American boxer to get back-to-back gold medals. And one of the things that she put in she talked to, I think it was somebody from the Olympic Village, try to get her to come, and they only wanted to pay her $1,000 of a stipend, but they were paying the guys $3,000. And she says, no, the only reason, if you really want me to come, give me $3,000, and you also got to give my other girls $3,000 as well. That's standing on business of making sure that not only you, but also the other women coming in line after her are getting the same treatment. That's what it's going to take. We need a voice that's going to continue to push hard for all of us so that the promoters can be like, I hear you. All right, then what can we do? That's what has to be done. We got to have a voice that just goes hard at it to say, this is what they want. How can we make it happen? But they have to put themselves in our shoes to say, you know what? Y'all got a point. Y'all got a point. And once that idea is planted, I think that can then be watered to grow even more so that they can see the opportunities that come from inviting us to their shows and allowing us to have that opportunity. Because another, I don't know if you know, but I think RP Strength, there's a show that they put on with in Las Vegas. I forgot the name of the show, but they're planning to add women's bodybuilding, which is 4 weeks.
I saw the clip. Yes.
So it's just like, and I literally wrote them. I said, this is the energy we've been wanting and needed. I am so grateful for you guys. And they was like, yo, we believe in y'all. We want to see how many of y'all want to come. So I was like, okay, let me talk to my coach, because obviously everything by him. But even just that action right there saying, yo, women's bodybuilding, this is what we want for y'all. How many of y'all want to show up? We really think this is a great opportunity for you guys. That's all we're asking for. It's just an opportunity to show up. And for them to do that, again, I don't know the prize money of that, but just alone, they got my respect, because that's more than I've seen from a lot.
They put themselves out there.
Yeah, literally. And they called us out. They said, yo, where y'all at? Like, we want y'all. I love that. I love that, because that means y'all heard us. Y'all are doing the action part of it all, and you're giving us that opportunity. And that's all we're asking for. I think it's the simple things for me that always like gets me going. And that simple thing of saying, I believe in y'all, I want y'all, that just lit me up inside, and they got my respect and support. So yeah.
And I want to say it's like a month after the Olympia, sometime in the first week of November. On Olympia TV, Chelsea Dion already said she's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And I think, like I said, Chelsea has been a rider for this division. I respect her so much for winning. What was it? Triple? Was it
Triple O Dynasty?
No, she won New York. She won Vancouver.
Right. Salika Gavon. Forgive me, Salika. Salika won Triple O.
Yes. So Salika won in
Triple O. Van Al in New York.
And then going back to New York and turning around and winning that, like, she didn't have to do New York, but she did. And you know what I'm saying? So I think her pushing, and she's been going hard this year, and I respect Chelsea so much, and she knows that. But it takes all of us to keep showing up. And shout out to all the girls who stood on stage this year, because they have represented so beautifully. And I've been in communication with some of them as well, my DMs, and just giving them the praise that they deserve, because it takes a lot, especially for us women, obviously in the most muscular division, to get on that stage and still push through, even with all the negative comments that have been given to us. But you're not going to stop us. So you can either sit back and enjoy the live stream, or you can literally keep doing what you're doing. But
Hey,
And then
get on the train or get off the tracks.
there you go, because we're gonna keep showing up and making sure we get to the bag, but also promote the sport the way it should be. So it's just
And of
I don't
course,
know.
that show. Who's the
Yeah.
promoter again? RP what?
So I think RP Strength is going alongside of I
Okay.
forgot the name of it, but they're joining forces to say like, hey, if we back you up on this, how would you feel about throwing in women's
Right.
bodybuilding? So, but just the promoters and RP Strength, like, thank you, like, big shout out to you. I really do think that that's going to be a big show, especially going into the 2026 qualification
Right.
round of the
And
Olympia.
a
So
stateside qualification as
yeah.
opposed to like Romania. So
Absolutely. I mean, it's hello Vegas and Olympia. Vegas for
yep.
this show. I feel like it's a perfect fitting for it. So that's why I feel like a lot of good is going to come this year because I'm already seeing traction, whether it's slow traction, it's still steps forward. And that's all
Right.
we need. That's all we need right now. It's just action moving forward. So yeah.
And Chelsea's already said she's doing it. Of course, it would be a
Yeah.
home game for her
Yeah.
because she's from Vegas.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So is
Yeah.
Ashley Jones on record that she's doing that show?
I did tell them, I was like, yo, right now we leaning towards yes. Okay. I talked to them.
Wow.
Yeah, we're leaning towards a yes on that one. I did say, like, hey, give me until like maybe August, September. I will definitely give you a confirmation.
Right.
But same thing with like I told you about Vu. Number one thing for him is about health. So he was like, I just want to make sure, our main focus is Olympia. I want to make sure you hold up for that. And if I see things are still where they need to be with that, then we'll push for another 4 weeks. So
And
we'll
no
see.
question, it'd be a great promotion for them, but you got to take care of business that first week in October. So
Yes.
you still got to make the main thing the main thing.
Absolutely. And they
Yeah.
respected that too. And I think that's another reason why they got more of my respect is because they said, hey, we understand, focus on the Olympia, but we just want to give you guys that opportunity 4 weeks post show. Do what you got to do. Maybe take a couple days off, rest, reset, and then boom, back at it again for another great
Right.
show. So I'm really grateful for them just providing that opportunity because, like I said, that's all we want. That's all we want is just to step on stage
Yeah.
and have that opportunity and then trickle into that topic of the prize money. So yeah.
And I got to go back in with the promoters, but this time, because obviously the conversation that you would have with the male promoters,
Yeah.
and this is purely my assumption, are going to be very different from the conversation you're going to have with the female promoters, such as Linda Murray.
Yeah.
What would you say to Linda Murray? Can you give me insight? And again, if you want to answer, that's fine. If not, but
Yeah.
what would you say to the female promoters, such as Linda Murray?
Right. Yeah. Honestly, like one, we already know Linda, she's done enough. She's done a lot for this sport. I mean, we know her show to be the bodybuilding show, and she was a prime, part of getting women's bodybuilding alive and well for as long as it was. I think the main thing is I would ask for her to be in the room with these other promoters so that I could have that female backing to say, hey, you got a legend right here next to me who's literally putting on shows, doing what she can for our division. Can you listen to how she's doing things and listen to how, she felt in this same token? Because I mean, back in the day, they weren't getting this money. They were not getting this money. So if she still pushed hard for the division the way she did, her and Iris, so take a chapter from her book to say like, hey, this is how it is. These girls deserve it. So I think hearing it from her, the legend that she is, obviously will put a little bit more like a push for them to say, okay, we hear you. And then coming back to the current, female bodybuilders, I think that would kind of be a nice segue into allowing them to see like, okay, again, I hear you. They have to hear us. And I think right now they're hearing a different message versus what we're trying to portray, which, like I said, is not to be equal on the sense of getting the same prize money. It's more of give us the opportunity, step one. Once you give us that opportunity, here's how we, as the athletes, are going to promote, do X, Y, and Z so that you can get the return of your investment. And boom, from there, fireworks. And I think that is the partnership that has to happen. And that's the foundation of the partnership that has to happen. So.
And Iris Kyle right there in Vegas as well. So yeah, definitely need to have those two conversations.
Yeah.
With the two Miss Olympias,
the
Iris
goats.
Kyle with 10, Linda Murray
Yeah.
with 8.
Eights. Yeah.
But
I
I
mean,
gotta stay. I gotta stay on this topic. You know where I'm going. What's your
You are
what's your
silly.
conversation with Miss Olympia Andrea Shaw,
Yeah,
4 time, as
yeah,
a promoter, not as a competitor, but
yeah.
as a promoter, with the Triple O
Honestly,
Dynasty already confirmed coming up
yes.
next year?
Listen, between her and Sydney grinding it out, I mean, she has right now, I think, the highest paid pocket for prize money for us female bodybuilder. I think it 7,000 or 75. I
Mm-hmm.
think first place 7,000. So
7,000.
for her to already push that ahead of Linda, I'm bravo,
Yeah.
bravo, because it, like even Sydney said, I was watching a live stream of it, and she said to my figure girls, like, if y'all keep showing up for me, I'm gonna definitely show up for y'all. And I think that's the same thing with Shaw as well. If we keep showing up, especially for her being the promoter side and not just the athlete and Miss
Right.
Olympia that she is, if we keep showing up at her show, she's gonna do right by us to make sure, like, hey, y'all, like, y'all know I'm in the same boat. I'm trying to get y'all paid. Like, we
Yeah.
appreciate. It's just that underlying message that we understand, and she ain't even got to say it, but we see her working for it, and I think that's why clearly to this day we respect Shaw as much as we do, because she has been holding it down for us. I mean, with the femininity, with the drive that she's been doing, for so long for us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just amazing to see. Even just, I think it's this the third year, going on the third year
Yeah.
for their show, and just seeing already how they're climbing up the ladder. So what's next year going to be? I feel like it's going to be even greater than $7,000. So
Yeah. And
kudos to her, truly.
and Whitney Jones as well. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
it's
just
amazing.
a thing of, you got to get the prize money up, but you got to
Mhm.
show up and show out.
And that's it.
And
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
that's just bottom line.
And I think
Thank
that's
you
going
for taking all these heated questions,
to, of
Ashley. I really appreciate
course. I told you let's put a pot a little bit. Okay.
it. Well, bottom line, that brings us to our announcement. And
Mhm.
when in the world of sponsorship, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on you.
No,
Um, that's just the bottom line.
I
My
appreciate
feeling on it.
it. Yeah.
They missed out on a great opportunity,
Thank
but I
you.
won't. And
Yeah.
so, effective today,
Yeah.
which is ironic, 1 June as
I
promised,
know, right? June 1st.
Ashley Jones is the brand ambassador slash sponsored athlete of Amazon's fitness magazine. So I'm in the fight right with you, and
Thank you.
appreciate you lending your name, image, and likeness to the
Yes.
brand of Amazon's fitness
Yeah.
magazine. And
Thank
let's
you.
go do some great things together.
Let's do it. Let's change it. Let's change it all. I'm here, and I'm just forever grateful to you, because you've literally, ever since the announcement of me switching over to women's bodybuilding, I mean,
Yes.
you have been right there, right there. When people were saying, no, no, Ash, you
Yeah.
were saying, yeah, yeah, Ash. So it's just like,
Oh
it's
yeah.
like,
It was. Let's be clear. A lot of noise. She ain't gonna beat this person. She ain't gonna beat this person. She ain't gonna be
yeah,
top 5. She's
yeah,
too small. See this.
yeah,
And then after New York, then
yeah,
they started to believe. But even then,
yeah,
they were hollering. And then
yeah.
you posted that progress pic the day
Mhm.
of the Olympia or the day before, and everybody's like, "Uh oh,"
And
you
you
know.
still stood right there. Yes, and I'm forever grateful for that, because, like I just said, with the whole the promoters, it just takes someone to believe, and you
Right.
have been the one to believe in me, and I don't take that for granted. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
allowing me to be on this platform and to continue to just put it out there that we are beautiful. Muscles on women are beautiful. We are here to stay. This is sexy. This is femininity. This is all the above. And I'm here to keep that narrative alive. So thank you.
Too easy for me. Let them keep sleeping. But I'm thankful to you as well.
Yeah.
You're saying you're thankful. I'm the one that's thankful, because it's a great win for me. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe number 3 in the world was even available,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, oh, okay, so y'all still sleeping on her and ghosting her, and so
Yeah.
let's do this. No, too easy. Not a
And we
problem for me.
and we're doing it. And it's gonna be the best ever. Trust and believe.
Appreciate you, Ashley. I won't hold you up no more. I know you got to get back to training and get back to Texas.
There you go. Yes.
All the
Yes.
best. And you saw your clients perform. I saw the post you did
Yes.
about the girl that was 50 years old, and her
Yeah.
only goal was to get on stage.
Yep, and demolished. She did amazing. First place. So I'm so proud of her. So proud of her. We're building
Appreciate
the
you.
team over here. So yes, thank you. Thank you.
And have you talked to your teammate?
Jess?
Yes.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. Yes.
She looks amazing.
She does look amazing. I'm not gonna I'll let her tell her plans, but
Yeah.
just know we talk about because we mapped out our schedule to make sure that we align our schedules to still train together. Because with me moving a little bit closer to like more of the downtown Dallas
Right.
area, it puts us at a different location, but we've made it work to where we can still train. And so it's just even our training sessions are so different now, just because we just feel it and we keep looking at, like, usually half the time we're not even talking. It's just like she'll randomly turn around and be like, Ash, you know we winning this, right? I was like, Jess, you know we winning this, right? And it's just like that interaction, that's literally what we need. And we know that's how we push each other. So
Yeah.
that's my girl, that's my big sis, and I'm here for her. I know she's here for me. And we literally said everything that we do this year, we're just creating memories and we're gonna have fun doing it together, because that's what it takes. It takes a village and it takes a support system that we have to make it to the top. And that's what we're going to do.
Well, give her my best. And yes, I hope to have her on to talk to her before
Yes.
she goes off to the Masters. So doing
Yes.
great things.
Absolutely. We'll do.
All right. Talk soon.
See you.
Thanks again. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Ashley Jones answered all the hot questions, the hot button topics, if you will. But creating a plan of action is what's most important. You can talk about it all day. It'll get some great clickbait and get some great conversations. But now it's time to make a plan of action and go forward for women's bodybuilding. And again, once again, she is now brand ambassador for Amazon's Fitness Magazine and sponsored athlete. And I couldn't be more happy about it. Coming up on Tuesday evening, 6:30, Dr. Trey Hodge will be back on the podcast. Always great to talk to him. So glad to have him back on again. He's going to be writing some articles for Amazon's Fitness Magazine from the Coach's Corner. So stay tuned for that on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. And then, of course, Wellness Wednesday on Wednesday with Melissa Guerrero. And she had a guest on, IFBB Pro Olympian Wellness Pro, Kerry McManus from England. They both competed against each other in Orlando. So we'll catch up with both of them on Wednesday. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to Amazon'sFitMag.com. I appreciate all those that have recent subscribers and those who continue to subscribe since 2022. When you do more, I can do more for these athletes as we push forward. Amazon's Fitness Magazine, and shout out to the competitors. Amazon's Fitness Magazine is your magazine dream. So reach out so you can get in the mag. Till next time, I'm Glenn Young for Amazon's Fitness Magazine for Ashley Jones, now brand ambassador and sponsored athlete of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. We will see you next time.